Pakistan is on the verge of collapse, not just economically, but socially as well, and the voices of dissent are growing strong. Some of the worst human rights crimes are committed in a nation where the military and Islamic fundamentalists rule the roost. 3 of Pakistan's provinces, Sindh, Balochistan, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, still remain underdeveloped, where poverty and malnutrition are rampant. The government does not appear to make any effort to upgrade the educational or medical infrastructure. Those brave individuals who demand their fundamental rights are facing persecution at the hands of security agencies and Islamic fundamentalists. The activists further accuse the authorities of discrimination and carelessness in carrying out rescue operations, even though the country is experiencing catastrophic flooding. In locations where there has been significant damage caused by the floods, activists are calling for international help to save Pakistan's forgotten residents.
It is the Pakistani military establishment that has unleashed human rights atrocities on the Sindhi people that are going unnoticed by the international community. And these human rights violations range from physical elimination of the Sindhi people in shape of extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances to their cultural, economic exploitation.
During the 51st session of the UN Human Rights Council, the Sindhis, Baloch, Pashtuns, and activists from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir raised their voices for justice. According to the Human Rights Watch Report 2021, the authorities in Pakistan expanded their use of draconian sedition and counterterrorism laws to stifle dissent, and strictly regulated civil society groups critical of government actions or policies. Women, religious minorities, and transgender people continue to face violence, discrimination, and persecution, with authorities failing to provide adequate protection or hold offenders accountable. The government has turned a blind eye to law enforcement agencies' brazen acts of torture and other serious abuses. The political activists from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir blame the army and other authorities for exploiting their natural resources. Meanwhile, the indigenous people continue to live in abject poverty.
हमें किसी किस्म की कोई आज़ादी नहीं है। हमारे तमाम नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज पे आर्मी कब्जा किए हुए है और फिर सबसे बड़े जुल्म की बात यह है कि हमारी फॉरेस्ट लैंड जो है वो आर्मी ने अलाट करवा दी है डिफरेंट एरियाज़ के अंदर और जितने भी टूरिस्ट रिजॉर्ट्स थे उन पे कब्जा करके मकामी लोगों के लिए उन एरियाज़ को बैन कर दिया है।
In April of 2021, the European Parliament passed a resolution on the deplorable human rights violations in Pakistan and called for an immediate review of Pakistan's eligibility for GSP Plus status, which grants Pakistan trade benefits on condition of its compliance with human rights obligations. During a recent visit to Islamabad, MEPs from the European Parliament's Subcommittee on Human Rights discussed a wide range of human rights topics in their meetings with Pakistan's top political leaders. The MEPs said it was important for Pakistan to undertake timely reforms and legislative changes on human rights issues and to translate them into concrete improvements. They called for determined and structured action, including the swift adoption of laws against torture and enforced disappearances, steps to substantially reduce the number of crimes carrying the death penalty, and to apply the new procedures for mercy petitions. Despite facing pressure from international organizations, the human rights situation in Pakistan remains grim, and voices of dissent are on the rise.